Tasha Wilson, and I'm the founder of Boosting Black Business. And today we are with the ladies from the Chicago Southside Birth Center. And I would really love for you to introduce yourselves and what you do.
I'm Carrie Stewart. I am certified nurse midwife. I work as a certified nurse midwife on the south side of Chicago. I'm also a registered nurse. And so Janine and I have, taken on this task to bring more maternal health options to the south side of Chicago.
I'm Janine Valerie Logan. I am a certified nurse midwife as well. I am from Evanston. I just have to say that.
Can you ladies tell me exactly what the Chicago Southside Birth Center is and what your vision is and your goals are?
So the Southside Chicago Birth Center will be a birth center that will provide resources not only for the birthing mom who will have the desire to come and have her baby there, but we will also provide maternity care services. We eventually would like to have some WIC services and just provide information on resources in the community. A birth center is a place where mothers can come, and it's kind of that in between having a birth at home and having a birth at the hospital. So it's a very home-like feeling environment. Their partners come, they can bring their children if they want to. It allows for a less hospital feel environment, and then our patients are able to go home pretty soon after that, provided there's no complications. And so, healthcare and maternity care can go along a spectrum, right? And so we want to make sure we have that spectrum of services on the South Side, and that's what this birth center will provide.
And can you tell me what the difference is between a doula and a midwife?
That's a good question. A lot of folks still have a hard time making a difference between the two. A doula is a paraprofessional, and so a lot of times their role is helping to provide childbirth education in the home or visiting, helping prepare families for the arrival of their baby. And they also work within the birth setting, so it can be home, a birth center, hospital, providing emotional and physical support to the birthing person.
The doula is a support person for the family, and a midwife is the provider. So we provide the actual clinical care, diagnoses, we prescribe medications, we see them for their prenatal, postnatal, and for any reproductive visits, and we catch their babies.
And ladies, why is this birth center important, like in general, but especially to the south side of Chicago?
So currently there is a maternal health desert on the south side of Chicago. Mercy Hospital will be closing in the spring. And we went from 7 over the last 2 years, 7 institutions that provided labor and delivery services to now will be 3. It's unfortunate that our neighborhoods on the south side are experiencing loss of maternal care options in the middle of a pandemic. And so this birth center will fill that gap and offer low-risk deliveries for our patients. It'll also be an entry point to other care services. And if a patient does not risk into this type of delivery, then we can provide them with a provider that can provide those services for them.
Have been overlooked for generations, right? We're talking about segregated communities that have the worst outcomes for maternal and child health.
Can you explain the disproportionate numbers in our community compared to other?
Black women are 3 to 4 times likely to have a complication or die related to pregnancy in comparison to white women. That number is twice that in the city of Chicago. So women in the city of Chicago are 6 times likely to die or have a complication related to pregnancy in either prenatal or while they're delivering or postnatal care. So it's really important that we have more options, that we educate the communities, that we educate, Chicago about the fact that we need similar options in the disproportionate communities, just as more affluent communities have.
And then, like on a macro level, right? We know if people have these disparities within birth, and we know the disparities for everything else, like employment, and all kinds of healthcare are exacerbated as well.
So can you explain the legislative part of this and why that is a roadblock for you?
In 2007, there was the Alternative Birth Care Act, Alternative Healthcare Act that was devised so that Illinois could have access to birth centers. And so within that, it was written that Illinois could have 10 birth centers, and then more specifically, of those 10 birth centers, only 4 could be serving the areas of Kane County, Lake, Will, just 6 counties, DePage, all together, which is not, that's a lot of people in those areas that you can only serve with 4 birth centers. And so, of course, even more specific, with those 4, only 1 can be operated and owned by an FQHC, which is a federally qualified health center. The other has to also be owned and operated by a hospital. And so the other 2 can be independently. And so, there's already 3 in that area. And so the only option that we have to kind of open this up is, have it hospital owned and operated. And we're in the middle of a pandemic. And so that makes it difficult to go to a hospital and say, hey, can you support this? Can you put some money into this? When they've had, financial issues due to the pandemic. And so, we want to make sure that the community and the institutions know this is a priority. We get that there's some financial concerns for all of us, but it will be detrimental to the community if we lose another institution and do not have anything else to back that up or support that. And so we are working with various legislators, and as things are moving forward after the election, we will address trying to change that law.
Your goal, if I am correct, and you can fix the number if I'm wrong, but I believe your startup costs are about $2.5 million. How will any bit help? Whether it's $5, $1,000, $20,000, how will this particular connection with Boosting Black Business and the Birth Center push you forward? What can this do for you?
Thing will help her, right? So that is going to be, that has been what has seemed to help the Birth Center be sustainable, that amount. Our GoFundMe is $500,000, and so any little help. It's going to take everyone to make this happen, and so any amount of money will help, with startup costs, and then helping the birth center stay sustainable, right? Because we know that healthcare deals a lot with insurances, and so we just want as much as we can moving forward to help with that.
Anything will help us. Again, it is a $2.5 million startup cost. And our GoFundMe is the $500,000. So that's just, a sliver of what we're needing. So we're hoping to, at some point, get some community involvement, get the donations, hopefully have a big donor join us and support this much needed service for the Southside of Chicago.
And if money isn't something that someone can provide due to the circumstances of just today, what else can they do?
We'll definitely share our campaign with those far and wide. Sharing is caring, as I always say. So the more individuals know, the more that we can get the word out and bring these numbers, this situation to the light, and individuals can support financially who can, but just sharing that something needs to be done and advocating by mouth that here's something that we need to support. on the Chicago Birth Center website, we will be asking for letters of support at some point from the community. So at this point, we want everybody to just highlight the disparity that we're experiencing right now and sharing that with as many people as possible.
I need you all to explain how this not only is about accessibility, about life, about so many things. How is this about economics and boosting your Black business?
Birth is part of our overall liberation and our economic liberation and sovereignty. And so this is really an opportunity to support community in a larger way, right? So maybe you're not planning on having a family anytime soon, or even extending your current family. But this is about like Black liberation and developing community.
So life begins with birth, and we want to grow. This is how we start our families, right? And so when we don't have a basis for that, a good foundation for that, it makes for a not so good situation for families. And so we want to make sure we have things in place prior to pregnancy. We want to have the education that our patients and community need, the resources that they need. But then when they get ready to decide to grow their family, we want to make sure that they have that option, it's a comfortable option, and they have providers that look like them. And so, this entity will be able to provide all of that and get their family going in a positive light. And so that's what we want to make sure we do. We have a great foundation for growing Black families.
Well, first of all, I do want to thank you all for joining me. I think this is super important to the family, to Black business, to life, as you said. So again, I appreciate you getting up early and talking to us. And I hope this does well.
Thank you for having us.